Welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
I'm Adio.
and we are KAMMA. About to talk about our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the main card. Of course, the main event being Stipe Miocic versus John Jones. We're going to talk about the first fight of the main card here, which is Mauricio Rufy versus James Longtop. My pick stays the same. I got to go with Mauricio Rufy. Although both of these guys are not really looking like they are in the best of shape, actually, here, these guys. Nobody's really ripped, not very, very muscular, although I think Rufy does have a little bit more muscles. If you can see his arm there, he looks pretty muscular. I think Rufy is going to be the stronger of the two. I just don't like the way James Longtop really fights, man. I don't think he's that great. He comes out there and he doesn't really do anything spectacular. Rufy, on the other hand, comes out there aggressive, does a lot of spectacular moves, flying knees, spinning elbows, kicks. He's gonna definitely use those elbows. He's got some power in his hands, very powerful. Coming out of Fight Nerds, all the positive things to say about Mauricio Rufy here. I like the way he looks, especially in his last fight, knocking out Jamie Mullarkey. And I don't think that James Longtop is that much better than Jamie Mullarkey, to be honest with you. So I'm going to stick with Mauricio Rufy to win by knockout.
All right. Yeah, I got to go with Ruffy also. Look, I said before that what James Longtop has to do against Ruffy is to test his ground game and work in a couple takedowns if he can. The guy couldn't be bothered to try that with Santa Claus of all people, right? Couldn't even be bothered. And I think the guy misses too many shots. Ruffy has to stay away from where Longtop likes to be and just work around that and use his varied striking. Once he gets him hurt, use that killer instinct to put him away. And I also think Longtop misses a lot of his shots also where they're not in perfect range for him. He is pretty tough though, Longtop. He can take a few hard shots, so Ruffy has to really put him away and be sure he puts him away when he does. So give me Ruffy by knockout. But I also wanted to add that Longtop missed weight, and this is catch weight, a little higher than it should be. So I guess he's given up some of his purse to Ruffy here.
Yeah, James Longtop, man, can't even make weight,
No discipline.
Pretty sloppy. I like this picture you took here with Ruffy about to clock him in the fucking in the face there, and Dana White having to hold his arm because he was very close to his face, man. The face-off was pretty intense. I think that Ruffy is ready to go. Look at the size of his arm too, and those veins that are popping out of his arm. He's fucking huge, man. And he's very, very strong. I think that he's going to fucking knock out Longtop here. So we are in agreement with the first fight of the main card. Let's move on up to the next fight here.
Okay, here we got Karine Silva against Viviane Arroyo. Both these girls coming in really good shape. I'm going to have to give the nod to Karine Silva. While I do think Arroyo is probably the biggest step up in competition, Arroyo is not very consistent. And Silva her striking is very good. Her grappling is good, as are her very varied submissions, right? You brought up last show how she has like a whole variety of submissions, different ones. And it seemed to me at one point she was trying to get a different one every time she got a submission. So I have a feeling, though, that this fight will go to decision. I think Arroyo is very smart down there and will avoid getting subbed and provide a decent enough challenge on the feet. But I think Silva is on that right trajectory where I think she's going to get the win by decision here.
All right, just want to let the folks know that Karine Silva is on the right-hand side of the photo. Viviane Arroyo is on the left side of the photo.
Oh, my apologies for that.
Little mistake there in the writing, but it's okay. Just wanted to clarify it.
It's a good thing they both look in just tremendous shape and just like almost the same and wearing the same shit, damn it, So sorry about that.
It could be confusing, I could see. Yeah, man. I gotta say though that Karine Silva on the right hand side here, you can see she has bigger arms. She's a bit more ripped. You can see her abs there. She's more muscular. She's bigger. She looks like a dude. She looks more like the dude out of the two. Definitely like Carini Silva being a little taller too in this one. And man, she is going to go out here and fight. And I know that she will be able to take down Vivian Arroyo and do some work on the ground. Now, when she gets Vivian Arroyo to the ground, Arroyo is going to have to be very, very careful. And she's going to be defending submissions left and right because, like I mentioned, she's got a lot of different submissions. She's got guillotine chokes. She's got Darce chokes. She's got submission knee bars. She's got arm bars. And you just don't know what she's going to do. Her submission jiu-jitsu is just impeccable. So I really like Carini Silva to get the win here. I'm going to go and say that she wins by submission. But yes, it could go to a decision here. I think she could also knock out Vivian Arroyo if she stays on the top and ground and pounds her. So I'm going to predict a finish, man. I think she gets the finish. I think she gets the KO or submission. I don't think it goes to a decision this fight. I know that Arroyo is hard to finish, but I think she will get finished eventually. She has to get finished. She's getting older and up there in age, man, at 37 years old. Carini Silva's in her prime at 30 years old here. So definitely love the way this one looked out here in the face-offs. Loving Carini Silva to get the win. All right, so we're in agreement here. Let's move on up to the next fight here.
Okay, we got Bo Nickel against Paul Craig. So here I think Paul Craig has a tiny chance of getting a sub if Bo Nickel's not smart and after clocking him, for example, jumps in a Paul Craig that's waiting there for him, right, trying to recover, pulling guard and all that. So, a part of me thinks that Bo Nickel could be that guy to show that, low fight IQ. But, give me Bo Nickel by knockout, probably early on, because Paul Craig's striking is, as pitiful as it is, his striking defense is also non-existent, let's not forget. So I think Bo Nickel's going to live up to this huge underdog billing he has going for him here.
Yeah, I got to go with Bo Nickel. Paul Craig's in good shape, man. He always comes out in pretty decent shape, Paul Craig. You can see he's a little bit taller, but not by much, which is what I really like to see here. He's not that much taller than Bo Nickel. I thought that he would have been much taller, but Bo Nickel is right up there with him in height. We're looking at a 2-inch height advantage for Paul Craig, which they say, but it doesn't even really look like that. But Bo Nickel looks great too. He's in phenomenal shape, ripped, a little bit more muscular, I find, than Paul Craig. Bo Nickel looks a little bit bigger, actually, than Paul Craig. Paul Craig's got the height advantage, though, by a little tiny bit. But like I said, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a height advantage for Paul Craig, and it's not. So that means to me that I think Bo Nickel's not going to have a hard time getting Paul Craig to the ground. And also, I think his punches are going to land flush. I think he's going to hit him with some straight punches, some straight jabs before going for that takedown. I think Bo Nickel's going to use the striking first, get some kicks, get some punches, and then he'll go for the takedown after he's kind of rocked Paul Craig a little bit, and then get him to the ground and either knock him out or submit him. So I got Bo Nickel winning by finish, KO or submission, and I think he early in the fight, I think maybe in the first or second round, he rocks Paul Craig with some good punches, and then manages to do a club and sub. Or a ground and pound, gets him to the ground by first knocking him and getting him down. So we are in agreement with Bo Nickel here by finish. You think he's going to finish him as well, NDO?
Yeah, early finish I call. Round one. Let's call round one knockout.
All right, there you have it. Let's get up to the next one here. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Now this one here, I said it, man. To watch out for the shape of Michael Chandler. And wow, oh my God, is Michael Chandler ever in amazing shape. He is actually thicker and bigger than Charles Oliveira. He's way more muscular than Charles Oliveira. He's way more ripped than Charles Oliveira. Definitely think he's juicing. Charles Oliveira, though, he's the same usual shape, very slim, but also in great shape as well. He's ripped too, and I like that he's taller. I just think that Charles Oliveira is just too skilled for Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is just he's a guy who has one way of fighting, which is striking, boxing, coming in there. I don't see him taking down Oliveira, and I don't see him getting any kind of being any kind of a submission threat. The only threat I see is Michael Chandler hitting him with something hard, maybe hitting him with a hard punch, landing something hard to Oliveira. If he does somehow end up on top on the ground, maybe ground and pound is what I would be scared of. But I cannot see Michael Chandler getting a submission on the one of the most amazing submission specialists in the game in
He
UFC.
almost subbed him the last time they fought, actually.
I don't think he does it though. I think Oliveira is way too good at getting out of submissions, at scrambling on the ground. I think that his jiu-jitsu is way better than Michael Chandler's jiu-jitsu. And I got to go with Charles Oliveira winning by submission or KO. That's it, man. I just think he's just a better overall fighter.
Yeah, yeah, the way Chandler would get a sub on anybody is probably after rocking them
Yeah.
and getting them that way. I predict a car crash type of fight anyway. Like these guys finish guys, and I think the guy who's going to be most hurt and in a worse position after it happens, whether it's in like one, two, or three flurries, I think Oliveira is going to wind up the winner here. Uh, I don't like Chandler's intelligence as far as when he has a real chance to put away the fight in a better fashion, he doesn't sometimes, or he gets too overzealous. And he really fights for the fans, and he would want to stand and bang in the center at the end of the fight rather than go for a sure victory. But that's why he's always fun to watch. And but Oliveira is fun to watch as it is with the way he fights. So yeah, give me Oliveira here by sub.
I'm very excited for this.
By sub or knockout.
Nice. I'm excited for this card, man. I'm super excited, man. If you guys saw the face-off, these two, man, these guys were intense, man. Look at this picture here where they are touching noses. I mean, his head is right in his head is right in the guy's face, Charles Oliveira. And Dana White's not even pushing them back because he knows he wants to hype this fight up. He wants everyone to tune into this fight. This is going to be one of the bangers of this card.
Oh yeah.
And I see that's why Dana White didn't push them away because he knew that these guys are going to be intense. They're gonna fucking attract people wanting to watch this fight. So this is going to be an amazing fight. It's probably going to be fight of the night. I think this fight here, and I think Oliveira is going to win in a spectacular fashion, getting a submission or a nice knockout, club and sub. All right, let's move on up to the next main event of the evening here. We got John Jones Bones versus Stipe Miocic. And man, I'm not going to take too long to talk about this one here. John Jones looks in great shape, man. He actually looks better than he did ever before. I think he's in great shape. He's more lean. He's actually very muscular too. Stipe Miocic in his own right looks good too. He's also lean and looks good. But I can see that John Jones looks a little bit bigger. He's a little bit more muscular there. He's got the height advantage too, and yeah, John Jones, the guy's the best, man. I think he's the best in the league, in the UFC, and yeah, I think he gets a win here. I don't see this fight going the distance, so I got KO or submission for John Jones, probably in the third or fourth round.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for John Jones as far as all the Aspinall business is concerned. Aspinall is actually going to be the backup fighter for this fight, so if Stipe drops out for whatever reason, we may see that fight sooner than we thought. Yeah, here I'm just gonna rely on Jones and count on Jones. Some things I can't say for many other fighters. Count on him to find a way to get the win here. I think Stipe is like well-rounded and he's not a dumb fighter by any means. So I think he's gonna be able to last until the third round. So I guess that means I'm predicting a third round finish for Jones. I predict he's probably going to get him down at some point in that round and probably ground and pound him out. Maybe even possibly see some elbow action, possibly some illegal elbows now, just for old time's sake.
The 12-6 elbow, yeah.
And also, I want to mention this. we've both seen these fighters many, many times. We can analyze, I guess, them in different ways. But one thing for me, man, Stipe doesn't kick. Like, he never kicks, and as his opponent, you never have to worry about that at all. So one less thing, right? So yeah, I count on John Jones to finish Stipe in the third round.
Yeah, man. I like John Jones. This is going to be another really good fight to watch. I think Stipe is biting off a little bit more than he could chew here in this fight. I think that he's brave to actually try to take on this fight here against John Jones, but I just don't think he is a match.
It's also been a very long time since he's been in the ring, Stipe.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. We're talking 3 years and 7 months since he last fought Stipe. So you can't bank on a guy who hasn't fought in almost 4 years.
Not that John's been active, but
John Jones fought a year and 8 months ago against Cyril Gane. That's not that bad compared to 4 years. I mean, come on. Yeah. All right, there you have it, folks. Our final predictions for the main card. Like and subscribe. Comment on the algorithm for us there. Let us know who you guys think. What do you guys think of the video? Let us know what who you guys like.
And stay tuned for our our betting video next.
Yeah, stay tuned for the bets coming up right next. Peace out, folks. KAMMA.